Hello and welcome to another update video about Cardano. Cardano obviously has lost its trend line up here. However, it has still made a higher high. So we can just shift this trend line, and also generally the chart matches a lot of the other cryptocurrencies price charts at the moment. For example, VeChain, Solana as well to a degree. No, the Solana chart is a bit different, but VeChain, for example. So generally what we can see here across the crypto market is currently an accumulation here down here after a breakout of a descending wedge. We see that here on the Cardano chart. We've seen that with many other cryptos as well, that after this bullish reversal pattern was broken, we saw firstly a slow accumulation and then a really strong move to the upside in the last week or last couple of weeks. And this round shape can typically characterize a first wave. Yeah, the characteristics of a first wave, basically a sentiment shift from this long downtrend. If I go to the one-day chart, you'll see that clearer. A sentiment shift from this very strong downtrend or long downtrend, yeah, into a potential reversal. Now, the reversal is not guaranteed. It's not confirmed yet. We haven't seen 5 waves yet, in my opinion. But if we go to the 4-hour chart, what Cardano is here currently doing could be interpreted as a first, potentially a first impulse. Let's just take a look at that. So we want to take a look here at the Fibonacci extensions first of that potential first wave here, because we need to reach the 1.618 Fibonacci extension at least. Now that was at $1.21, so that was reached. So we could possibly see that as a third wave. Now the next dip here, is that already the 4th wave? We need to understand that. So we take the Fibonacci retracements, and yes, the minimum requirements for a 4th wave are achieved. So typically you would expect the 4th wave to go down to the 38.2% Fib level at $1.07. Now we haven't reached it. The minimum would be that 115 level. Okay, that was reached. So the minimum is, it is reached, but more likely you would expect the price to go to that $1.07 level at least once more. Okay, so this could be counted potentially here in terms of, I mean, you could even count that as a wave 3, and then this was the wave 5, and we already started the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So maybe that is even the better count, just thinking. So what you have here then is your first wave up, came down in wave 2. This here was your wave 3, because it is round about the 120 level. Yeah, so that is the 1.618 Fib extension, came down in wave 4, and this could have already been the wave 5 when we really reached here that 125 level. Yeah. So now what we do, we could already start here this ABC. Now, in my opinion, we don't really know until we break that trend line here to the downside and that previous rejection point. So all of this here could be a first wave to the upside, and then you're coming down typically, and what I expect for VeChain as well here, in an ABC. Yeah. Now that ABC would be a second wave, and typically in a second wave you would come down all the way at least to the 50% retracement level, which would be here the $1 level. Yeah, so you would need to get to that to complete that ABC wave, if we say we've already completed here 5 waves to the upside. So that would be a second wave. That would be very much in line with a possible inverse head and shoulders here, which would be fantastic, because you could see this as a larger reversal pattern as well. Inverse head and shoulders here, possible retest of the $1 level. That is actually what would be healthy, what I would hope for, because then we can be much more certain that we've seen here a first wave up and a second wave down. Currently, Cardano here in a bit of a decision point. So of course, that possible impulse doesn't need to be finished yet. Could still push higher from here. That's absolutely technically possible as well. So until we really see that further dip, we don't really know. And what I want from that wave 2 is really that it comes down and ideally retests here the $1 level. So in a wave 2, it's not a wave 2 until you really retest here that $1 level, because in a wave 2, you need to see the minimum of the 50% retracement. And at the moment, we're quite far away from that yet. Nevertheless, as I said, we can also move higher from here, and really to keep an eye on that, you can interpret this here as a triangle, trend continuation pattern. So looking at this possible breakout pattern, we don't really know in which direction it will break out until we see a breakout. Yeah, but you can see how we're sort of getting squeezed into this apex. We can take the height of the triangle in terms of determining the price target for this and the breakout point. And to the upside, that would push us to 130, or to the downside, that pretty much matches. It could push us down, yeah, exactly to that $1 level. So, you know, we are pretty much here at the key decision point, and that again, that would be in line with a possible inverse head and shoulders developing here. Now you can also interpret this as an ascending broadening wedge, which would be a bearish reversal pattern. Again, also contributing to the idea that, yeah, from here we could move down, break down. So an ascending broadening wedge would also be more likely to break to the downside. So also matching my idea of having or getting here an inverse head and shoulders, what I've already talked about in the last few videos. Irrespective of that, the next real level that Cardano needs to break through is here that 126, 127 level. That is here the 50% Fibonacci retracement level of that overall move. And this is a very important resistance point. You can see that this is also here that previous pattern here where we had where we were rejected here, and it is just an area of support and resistance. Now generally we don't really know what the price is going to do until it breaks that level. Yeah, as long as we stay below that level, everything's open. We've got a triangle here, we've got an ascending broadening wedge. Certainly interesting patterns that we're operating, and you could even interpret this, as I said, as a reversal pattern, so an inverse head and shoulders. Yeah, but what it could also just be doing would be yeah, a cup and handle. Yeah, so you've got here possible bullish reversal patterns at play, and therefore we can really only speculate until we see that break of that 127 level, because in terms of the cup and handle, you've got a round shape here, and this could just be here the handle forming before you then break out above this very important level here at 127, maybe a retest, and then go up from here. Generally what we do expect, we have to distinguish here between short term and longer term. So as I said, you have here bullish reversal patterns. You've got the cup and handle, you've got the descending wedge, and you've got here just a simple W pattern. So you've got a series here of bullish reversal patterns, more of a longer term view here. Yeah, but then here in the very short term, what we're doing here with this ascending broadening wedge, that could break to the downside, and only the market can decide now. The message here is we are just below very important resistance here at 126, 127, and this is the next major breakout point. If we break that, the next main target I'm looking at is first of all the 200-day moving average at 150, very important, and above that, maybe even more important, is this top here, 163 level, that wave 4 top. Told you before, as long as we are below the 163, there is still significant downside potential. So at the moment, yeah, the market is a bit unclear. We see very positive signs, and I'm very positive about the chart, very positive about the market, but as I said before, there are always, especially in Elliott wave analysis or generally in TA, there are important, very important structural levels, and this 163 level is very important structurally for the price, and as long as we are not above that, then the downside potential is still very, very much real. Yeah, so without a doubt, we could still, because at the moment you can also count this as a 3-wave move, an ABC. Yeah, so the potential is still very much there that we just come down once more, and that also to a degree depends on what Bitcoin is doing at the moment, and Cardano really waiting here at the moment for a decision of the market. Bitcoin has hardly moved really recently, so we can take a final look at the ADA BTC chart, which is wow. I mean, look at this. We obviously found support here at this very strong support line down here at around 2000. Yeah, if I zoom in, this is an impressive triangle. Absolutely. I mean, look at this, textbook like. So sorry. So I mean, a few ways you can interpret this, but certainly as a bullish pennant. Absolutely. I mean, look at this long move up this flagpole, and then you can draw here this beautiful triangle. So again, here I think on the ADA BTC we're getting to a decision point. When we move up again, ADA will outperform Bitcoin, and just purely looking at this pattern, I mean, a bullish pennant is what the name suggests, bullish. Again, we don't really know until we break out, but this suggests that we could have some serious outperformance of ADA versus Bitcoin incoming. So that's quite cool. And you can add this flagpole to the breakout, and then you see where we land around 3,200 here. But that is certainly very impressive. Certainly very, just looking at the chart, certainly very interesting pattern here. Of course, it can break to the downside because we never really know in which direction the breakout will be until it happens, but this looks very, very much like a bullish pennant, which typically has like a 2/3 opportunity or chance to break to the upside. You could also maybe look at this in terms of a cup and handle. It's not a very beautiful one where you have it doesn't matter in the end, it's both bullish patterns, right? Where you have your cup here, yeah, and then this is your neckline here pretty much, yeah, and you form your handle here. That actually looks like a nice cup, doesn't it? Anyway, you've got a cup and handle, and then you break to the upside from here as well. So better delete that cup. All right, so that's my view, and certainly exciting at the moment. So actually before this video I didn't have a look at the ADA BTC chart, but it looks really, really interesting. I keep a close eye on that, and a very, very important development, or very interesting development here on that chart. Just below that previous support level, you can see that how important that was here, yeah, at around 2,500. So this is really what is currently providing the resistance, and if you see that breakout, that will be very, very interesting, and can lead to very nice performance of Cardano in the next few days and weeks. And I mentioned in the previous video, obviously, the hard fork that's upcoming. The upcoming hard fork, typically before a hard fork, a few months before that, historically, and I can only look at what happened historically, the Cardano price did outperform Bitcoin. So yeah, let's keep an eye on that. Very interesting, shows potential. All right, that is my view about Cardano. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.